Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on more of the Junk Journal January. I'm still trying to catch up. Today we will be doing the balance and neutral. So those are the two we need to concentrate on. Am I even up to catching up? No, not by a long shot. I might be caught up by the end of the month. So here is the 2 pages. Front and back. Is that one page or is that? Yeah, it's just one page. Front and back of what I need to do on here. And I still have to figure this out after I get it completed on the spine and all that. I want to thank everybody for coming to visit. Hope you enjoy this. It might be a little more on the simpler terms, but yeah. I'm still trying to catch up, like I said. So I grabbed the Kirby Teasdale because balance. Okay, I was thinking of the woman that held the scales, on the top of your courthouse. That kind of balance. I was thinking of a teeter-totter, and I was thinking of all kinds of stuff. But the one thing that I know you have to have good balance for is a bike. And that kind of goes with my Victorian kind of theme that I've got going on in this book. I've also been trying to use up a lot of my paper dolls, and this little lady happened to be sitting, and she looks like she's on the right scale to be with this size of a bike. So I'm going to have her sitting here. Her feet's going to kind of be on there to make her look like she's actually sitting on the bike. I probably will cut that out with the X-Acto knife and tuck it on this side of her to make it look right. I do have to figure out how big that needs to be. Also, to give it a little more interest on this page, besides just the background, I've got this extra piece of brown, and I have this stamp from Tailor Made Journals. Lorna made these, and I loved all the different signs, and I love advertisements, you know that. So this one has clothing, odds and ends, dry goods down here at the bottom. And it's got the trading company and something there, and mercantile, I guess. So I'm going to make a sign out of this. I've also got the May Made It kit that's relic. It's got some of her grungy kind of things on it, plus a couple of sayings. And I'm going to use this one, and she always said it looked like bacon. She always called it the bacon one. But it looks like it has a wood grain. So I'm going to actually put that on here, and then we're going to stamp over it and heat emboss it. So let's get this part done first, where we figure out how big to make our paper to go in here. And I'm not going to need, I want to get all of the bike if possible. So I'm probably going to get it from tire to tire. That's about what I need to do. And then I'm going to figure out, I wouldn't mind leaving a little bit of an edge on it, but I don't know if I will be able to. So I'm going to cut it right there. And I'm cutting it tire to tire. So I'll get in there and do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, I have it cut down, and I think I would like to have a little bit of a decal edge on it as well. So let's use the decal edge cutter. And thank you, Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy, for sending this to me. And it gives it a great little jiggy-jaggy kind of edge on it. And I just want that because I want to see more of the paper bag behind it, because I think the paper bag craft color goes really nice with this paper here. There we go. Okay. Toss our little pieces that's left over. Didn't take but a sliver off. Alright, so we have this, which looks like it goes perfect. Okay, now for cutting. Oh, my top came off of my X-Acto knife. I gotta be careful. So I mentioned that I wanted to make this handle stick out just a little bit so I could stick it around her body to where it looks like she's actually sitting on the bike, on the bike. you have to play with some of your dimensions and things sometimes. So let's see what we've got. Let's pull that out. And then her little bottom will be right there. Yep, that's all I need to cut. That's all I need to cut. And we'll make sure that it's stuck down to her body so it doesn't... This doesn't seem to want to stick to that. So it will not flip around on me. So let's get the Barely Arts glue out, and we'll get this part down. And then all we have to do is our sign, which I've been trying to give you a little bit of mixed media in each one of these. Some of them I have to really think about to figure out what the mixed media part is, and others, you know. So the mixed media, this one will be the sign. Sometimes it's hard to figure these things out, and I guess you get to call it as it is. Now the thing, I was told that opaque is not what I was thinking, but it seems like my piece for the last video kind of turned out to be opaque when I was thinking translucent. That's the word I was thinking of, because translucent you can see through, but if you really can't see the little guy. So I don't know. It's your call whether you think that's translucent or opaque. She said opaque was where you can see through it, period. So, oh well. Okay, with this lady, like I said, we're going to glue her down all the way. And I've been trying to use up a lot of these. Now, I've got some Halloween kits over there that's got more of these people, different people in it. So it's not like I'm running out of them. And my handle has gone down on me. There we go. So I think her sitting right there. Whoops. And not sliding everywhere will do the trick for me. I'll put my glue under there and sop it up. There we go. It looks like she's sitting on there now, doesn't it? If I left that handle behind her, it wouldn't have quite made the scene believable. Okay. Now, let's work on our sign. And I'm going to do some heat embossing with the mercantile stamp, so I couldn't really do a what do you call it, like an embossing folder to make the wood look. I couldn't do that because I wouldn't have been able to really get mercantile to stand out. So I couldn't go that route. You have to really think about things. Like I'll sit and ponder. This is how I come up with stuff. I'll sit and ponder and try to figure out how I want to do something. What makes, like, balance? What made the word balance in my mind? Sorry, I'm taking my second shirt off. It's been snowing here, and I thought it was going to be cold, but it's kind of getting steamy back here. But anyhow, so I sit and I think about it, and try to figure out what works. Like I said, I thought of the balance beam. Well, I could have used balance beam. I thought of something that was balanced, so each side, you know, like one of them, where you color the one side and then you fold the paper in half, so both sides have the exact same. I thought about that. I thought about quite a few things. I thought, no, I don't think I better go that route. Now, I'm going to use the Scorched Timber. It's almost close to a black, but I thought it would give me enough of an image. And I tried to find any kind of die cuts I had that might make this sign, and I couldn't find any. I'm going to go up just a little bit with it because, and see how it turns out? Kind of cool, isn't it? It kind of looks like wood. But I didn't have any die cuts at all. I'm going to actually go in the other direction this time. Just build it on top of each other. Whoa. All right. So some of this, you won't really notice it because it's going to be covered by the heat embossing. Okay, let's go back this way. Ooh. I'm really hoping this new show I'm watching, Doc, turns out. I mean, I hope it's like not like it's already kind of gave you all the information it can give you, you know, because she had amnesia. She's made up with her husband, who's her ex-husband. He's already married again, and anyhow, it's kind of like you're trying to figure out if it's got enough meat in the show to keep you involved. I guess that's how you would say it. Okay, so that is done and over with. And I can put that away. All right, so I just did the whole thing because I'm going to get on here. I'm going to heat emboss it right in the dead center. And then I want to be able to kind of rip around it. That's the idea there. Okay, so I've got my Versamark watermark stamp pad. And I've got this already on a stamping block ready to go. And I could give it enough juice. I hope there's enough juice in here. Sometimes it doesn't look like it, but I think there is. All right, like I said, right in the center so I can rip around the outside edge. And I've been seeing where there's going to be another Twilight movie. Has anybody else seen that? I mean, I don't know if I actually saw the movie first or if I read the book. I think I saw the movie and then I got the books. And I'm reading the first one again now. And I'm kind of disgusted because the scene that I thought was the most fun was she was going to be having her blood typed in biology class or whatever. And it ends up she faints at the sight of blood. And, and that's really funny when she becomes a vampire. I'm using this mixed media powder, which is lime. And I thought that would go pretty good because, look, there's kind of limey colors in this background here. Plus, I needed something light to go on this back. And I've been looking at things on my YouTube where they'll give you the little shorts on all the different things in the past movies and some of the trailers for the new movie. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. There used to be one, a movie that was to come out, and they never did it. She went and sent, Stephanie Meyer, went and sent her, now this is sticking to some of this background ink already, so that's why I'm just trying to rub a little bit of that off. Yeah, she sent off 3 copies of this other portion of the actual first book, the Twilight book, where it was from Edward's point of view. I guess from being a vampire and all that. But somehow it got leaked. And I think it's called something about Under the Midnight Sun or something along those lines. Anyhow, so that one, as far as I know, never got written. Because she was mad. It was mad. I don't blame her. All right. Now this is look at what it looks like beforehand. And I'm going to go over and heat it. And then I'll be right back. Okay. And here's what it looks like afterwards. See where it's kind of shiny. But I really love it because it's got those different grays and black metallic kind of pieces in it. It gives a really cool effect. It's not like a, you know, just a flat on look of green, which would not be very interesting. So I'm trying to make something that looks like a old-time sign. I have a few die cuts that kind of cut out a sign design, but this one was really too big because it swoops up and, oh, whatever on the top and bottom, so I couldn't really use that. It wasn't going to give me my look I wanted. Okay, because I got in my head the look that I want, and the old square signs are what I'm thinking of. Now, I need to cut just a little bit more off here because it seems to be, yeah, that's much better. It wasn't quite straight. One side was a little bigger. So scorched timber to the rescue to darken up our edge to make it look like it may have been a burnt edge sign. And that would go in with the word scorched. Yeah, it started snowing here again. Ugh. It's still snowing. It's real gentle kind of a snow, but it's coming down. So I get done filming my video, I'll get to be uploading, and I'm going to go out there and sit in my chair and read. How fun. Okay, how do you like that? See, it's got a burnt edge to it. It's really cool. All right, Barely Arts, tweezers, and we're going to put this baby down. Okay. Now, see, you don't always have to color your paper dolls. If you don't want to color them, you don't have to color them. I think they're cool as is, because me, I like a black and white photo because I love genealogy. Now, the only thing is, the sign. We're going to see if we can pull her head back up a little bit. The sign is a little bigger than I had assumed. Okay. So we are going to tuck that little bit right behind her head. There we go. That will work fine and dandy. And then I will put this down. And actually, I like this kind of a look, where you're overlapping. And I'm just putting some glue up behind her head again. Yeah, where you're overlapping, because it gives the impression, and I kind of bent her face. It gives the impression that everything is tied up together. And yeah, that's what this little piece did for me, and that's kind of what this is doing for me. It's kind of like she went to this mercantile to find her a bike, and she found one. So that's where I'm going with that. Now, I could put two little doodaddy. Well, maybe I'll go ahead and do that. Let's see what that'll look like. I'm going to put a couple of little chainy looking links or whatever going up through here. So it looks like the mercantile sign is hooked in to this. And I think it's about right here. And if I was smart, I would have made a big loopy thing down here at the bottom, but I didn't do that. So let's kind of expand on that last one. That's kind of like where it's hooked in. Yeah. Yeah. So here we go. That is our balance. Our lady is balancing on her bike. And she's doing a good job because there's no kickstand down, and she's not hanging on to the handles. I really like that. It turned out really pretty. Okay. I think that green really does a lot. If I would have put black there, it would have been too bold and overshadowing of the rest of it. All right, let me get the pieces together for the next one, which is neutral. All right, I've been trying to think exactly what I want to do here. I've got another little girl who I think I'm going to make her a butterfly. So she's going to be just like that. And I'm going to cut this white off because I don't like white around the edges. Now, this is one of my transparent, I think I have a thing of wings. And so it's just like acetate wings. So that's definitely neutral. And I had this, which is another piece of like acetate, but it's got like wording on it. And I thought I would have that as part of the background. And I'd found this. I was trying to find a bingo card, but I couldn't find one. So I found this one. And I don't know. I may cut it in half and do one portion here and one there. And then I've got the tissue paper, which is going to be on the background. I've also got a bunch of scraps. And I don't know if I'm going to like frame this piece here with some of these pieces, and then use a little bit of a bricky design kind of on the background to give it interest, because it doesn't have much interest at the moment. I got all that, but still. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And then the two little butterfly things are going to be kind of on top of the acetate sign, inventory paper, whatever that thing is. All right, so this is the side we got to go with. And like I told you the other day, I bought a bunch of this different gift wrap from Hobby Lobby. Because it comes in handy. All right, let's get in here and try to find our end. And it has to be so big. I'm just going to go up to here and cut across and cut down, and then we'll shape it from there. Okay, now I can get this off my desk. Whee, I think that goes inside. There we go. All right, let's see how we can shape this. Yeah, see, this got kind of a Victorian look to it anyhow. Now, where's my edge? I think this is my... trying to find my corner edge. I think that's it. Okay, so let me make a mark here. Right there. And then make a mark right there. I'm going to get my guillotine. This is probably the easiest way to cut this tissue paper. So I'm going to try this route. Alright. Try to get it straight along the bottom edge. Whack! And then I gotta find the other mark. So we're going to get that straight as we can. Whack. Okay. So this gets put down onto our paper, and I'm probably going to do some of this, and then I will come around the outside edge with the regular glue. This will help hold all this down in here, and then I'll go around the outside edge. And I like the colors here because I've got something else that's given some interest to this background with this pattern. I never can remember the name of this pattern because I used it a lot in my Gothic journal with Poe. Okay, let's see if we can get this down on here. There we go. And I'm going to get this and wipe this off real quick. And then we're going to rub this down. Get it nice and flat. Or as flat as we can. Oh, and sometimes you might want to let it dry because I ripped that. Or be gentle. You could dab at it. You don't have to like rub it like you're trying to rub a dirty word out of its mouth. Do y'all remember that? Whenever you'd say a bad word and your parents would clean your mouth out with soap. That happened to me. I guess nowadays the worst word I say a lot is crap. That's one of my favorite words to say. Okay, so we have our background down. Yep, got the right direction and all that. Now we have our, goodness, can't get my fingers under it. We've got our little saying here. And see, you can actually see through it, which is kind of cool. Do we need a frame around it? I don't really know. Because I was going to do something like this. And so let's see if we can mark that. And then I'll probably come back and do something else with the bottom and the top. I've got several pieces here. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut that right there. And then where was this other one? Right there, I think. Yeah. And we're going to do this, which is going to be the inside. But I want to give it some age. So it fits our theme, you know. Okay. The rest of it I can catch at a later date. So we want to have our, on the edge, I guess. I want to try to keep the whole word there, Samuel. The other side, I don't really have that date on there, so it doesn't really matter there. Okay. Got that. Let me go ahead and do this side. Okay. You can see the 18.9 and that's it. Okay. So let's trim that off just a tad. Do I need to trim it? Not much there to trim, but we'll go ahead and do it. Oops. I can't get my hand on that one. It's jumping all over the place. Alright. Next. What do we want to use? I don't have the words going in the other direction. I have these words. And then I have these words. But I do like this. It's got the word house on it. And I really like that. So maybe we'll just put this at the bottom. I don't know. So I'm winging this one. So you know, I don't know what I'm doing. I wondered about this because it's got some numbers on it. And I may just put that over top because there's nothing happening in that lower corner. So I don't know that we even need anything kind of over here. So let's just cut that part with the house, which is the part I like, and stick that on there. Oh my God. Ink it a little bit first. Can't forget our inking. Okay. So I'm going to actually cut that down a little bit more. I really want the word house to show. I don't know why, but I do. Alright, so we're going to do this because that's going to stick to the top here. Oh, and I did need to ink the outside edges of that too. See if I can get that on there straight. Okay. I should have done it before I put it on there because it's kind of wimpy. Pretty wimpy. There we go. And then I have something that needs to go across the top. I just as well use this. I wish I had a skinnier one. Let's just cut that down. I think I made it. I didn't want to cut it too short. Alright, so here we go. Let's put a little glue along top. Put that down. Make sure our date's still showing. Okay. Did I make it crooked? It's a little crooked on this end, so let's push that down. You can still see the date. Oops. So we're going to trim that and trim this straight. And hit it with a little bit of ink. Okay, now we're going to put that part down on a paper. And it's going to be up here toward the top. And this will be a good place to put the glue so it will hold. Put a little bit along the edge down here. And that edge. Okay. There we is. I don't know if black is considered neutral, but I would think so because I was wrong about opaque, so now I'm worried that I'm wrong about neutral. From what my memory is on neutral, it is when there's a lack of color. So I think I'm okay here. I do want to ink the outside edges here just to give this a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that helped it. And then I want to put a little bit of rat. That still ain't down all the way, is it? Oof. Okay. Good enough. I still wanted to have a little bit of... Look, I have ripped the whole edge of this thing down over here. What is going on? I'll tell you what. I'm going to put me a little bit of something under there. Maybe that piece. I'll put a little bit of this stuff I was going to put around the edges down here where I've ripped the paper off. Like that could go there. And then I have a little piece here. I don't know what I would want to put there. Let's put this. I think that'll be covered up. I'm not sure, but I think it is. Okay. It's kind of like a patchwork is what I'm going for here. Yeah, that'll cover that up, and I've kind of covered up where I screwed it up so bad. I did kind of like some of these in here, but I don't know where to put them. This is actually smaller. Once you start decorating it, it's actually smaller than what you would believe. So I don't know, maybe I could put something like this in here or this in here. I like that black. Okay, so let's do our outside edges just so they're taken care of. And let's get in there with this. All right, so like right there. That works for me. I don't do collage that much with you guys because I'm not a fan of it. And I know you don't like to see it that much. So that's kind of why I'm not that much into it. I think I wouldn't mind having that little flower if he's seen sticking up there. I don't know if he's going to be seen. All right, he's going to be like right there. Who needs to see these numbers? Not I. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue this down as well. I don't know what the mixed media part of this would have been, unless it's just me using all these different elements like the acetates and the paper and the ink and the tissue paper. So I guess that's it. I like where I'll be able to see these numbers going down the side. I always think numbers add a lot to things. You know, just a different look. I didn't use up as much of that as I thought I was, but let's see how our butterflies are going to work in here. Now, like I said, I gotta cut around the outside of this one real quick. I'm going to cut his antenna off. I don't need them either. Okay. Whew. Now, I do have a book to show you at the end here. That's got some of my work in it. One of my other portfolios. There's a few things in it you've seen, but I did find the logos. So the logos are in the one I'm going to show you today. That was those things I was telling you about that I had created. And I can show you, I know exactly which one I took to town to see if they were going to buy it. And they didn't. I think they already had a logo. Usually when a business starts, they have a logo, usually thought up or whatever, and created for them. That's why I always thought, well, maybe I could get into doing that. Okay. There we go. I got just a little bit left around here. I'm kind of leaving this along these edges because sometimes you see that of his little frill at the bottom. I fed my crows earlier. They got them some bread. And I threw a bit of cat food out there. Yeah, the crows around here better like cat food because that's what they get a lot of times. Okay, so now we have to figure this out and what we want where. So this I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the back side of it so our little girl can go down on it. And she needs a little bit of glue along here, her arm, and I think I got the rest of her. So let's put it here where I can wipe it off. My poor mat, it's it's seen better days already. I haven't had it that long. I need something that's more durable because I put it through the ringer. Oh, all right, there we go. Now, let me figure out where this little girl needs to go. Maybe she can stand here on this line. I hate that she's covering up that. I like this one because you can actually see through it. So I wondered about maybe that. I know I'm covering up everything I wanted to keep, but you know, I'm just gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have her standing on that line right there. And I'll have to give up on the E. Yeah, the E's gotta go. Okay. See what I can do. I want her to be about right here. On the last of that, I can still see my word house. All right. And then my acetate. And I'm going to have to actually get in here. Where's my number 8? I think that's it. And extend out my line. Yeah. It's on that shiny surface, so I can't rub on it too much. It'll smear. And then we're going to put this other set of wings up in here. Trying to debate whether to go sideways with them. All right. Decide, Rhoda. Decide. Let's just put the glue on it. And let the chips land where they may. Okay. So I really think I'm going to go with them like this way. I can see Samuel Ward. I can see most of the date. It's catching the edges of the frame, helping pull it into the scene. And yeah, I think I like that. Okay. So we got that one done. We just got to put our thing in our ink. We'll see what we got done today. And then we'll look at my book. All right. So on our previous page, we had this, the girl that bought her bike and learned how to balance. She bought it from the mercantile. But that's how it turned out. I love this page. It's got some pretty flowers. These lilies up here were really pretty too. So I can maybe use them for something else. I really like how that sign turned out. I'm crazy about that sign. Okay, and I folded her head up, and I got a little bit of a wrinkle there, but I don't think it'll be too bad. And then we have neutral. And I think this is mostly neutral. This has got sort of a yellow cast to it, but I think we'll be all right. I think that's still considered neutral. It went with her wings really well. And I liked how this arm came out because it looks like it's resting on that wing of hers. Okay, well that's what we got done today. And I will clean off my desk and be back with a book. Well, the snow is coming down in big flakes out there now. Wow, it was really small earlier. And this one, I don't know. I think it was like maybe the 8th grade or something because I used Boo. I think later I used Diane. And then after that, maybe our Diane. I don't even know. But that's kind of fall colors and stuff. Then I have this one, which is... It was a saying that was going around back then. If you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it was yours. If it doesn't, it never was. That one was in 1985. And I was using Diane then. But of course, I used my pretty unicorn. Now, this was something I made up when my friend started dating. And it's a parking permit. And it had to do with the applicant and the participant, and then, yeah, this parking permit is entrusted to the following couple to enable them to express themselves to each other at the appointed times and places. And then down here, it says the appointed time allotted to the chosen couple will be 6 to 11. Warning, if the entrusted young lady is not returned to her native establishment by the requested time, she will be revoked along with this permit. Oh my gosh. All right, here are the logos. Now this is a place down in Verona. We go to eat in Verona all the time, me and Mom. It's like at the back road. But that was Fashion Gallery. Then here is one. It's Lucky 7. And as you can see, there's a 40 clover, a horseshoe, and number 7. Then here's Sunday. And as you can see, the sun. I have Bloodsucker. I'm not sure what kind of a logo that is, but it's kind of a cool lettering I come up with. I love to come up with lettering all the time. This one, Brothers Pizza. This is the one that I took down in town to get it, to see if the people would buy it for the logo or whatever. And I've got the two little guys on there, you know, holding their pizza, steaming pizzas. But I always thought that turned out so cute. I really like it. Now here's cookbook. I explained this one to you earlier. So the C is here. O-O-K. And then book. Oh, and then actually, I didn't share that. So this was down here, connected to the K to be the skillet, or saucepan, or whatever you wanted to call that. And then I did one for Coca-Cola here. I don't know why. And then I think my neighbor was wanting me to come up with something for Coca-Cola. I think that was it. And then 4-Star Pizza. I used to work there. That was a fun job. I delivered pizzas. I loved it. And you had to use your own car, but oh well. And that one's looking good. And then this is G93 and Rose's Cantina. These are places, this was my friend's father's radio station. And this was another place that you could eat at down in town. Just a little place. Now these, you've seen the original. These are the originals, I think. Whereas you saw copies the other day. I can't remember if that one was on there as well. That was another pen and ink I did. And then I know you've seen the unicorn and Jaspin. Let's see. You didn't see Guinevere. I know that this is hers, and I didn't copy it. But this is Guinevere, and she has a whole lot of hair. I would not want to hold that much hair on my head, although I wouldn't mind some of it. But she's got those weird little cuffs on her arms, and I made her some poofy sleeves, and she's got a weird chaise lounge she's on. This was 1983. And then I think I showed you Horse. I think that was a copy in that other one. This one. I think I was coming up with this one for a t-shirt. I think that's what that was. I got something else written on that page. I folded it down. But I kind of liked how it turned out. And then here is my kitten button. My little button. She was sleeping. So I did a little pencil sketch, or pen sketch of her. And this is pencil, and I never did finish it. I probably was going to do it in pen and ink. And I got these legs looking pretty good here, so I didn't date it, but it has to have been 85 period, I would think. This is a Habaroo. Don't ask me. I think he's got part kangaroo, monkey, horse. I don't know if you can see all of his head. Horse, antelope, boar, I think, is in there. He's even got cow feet. I don't know. He had all kinds of stuff in him. Now this is one of, I told you I was reading Anne McCaffrey's books, and I thought this looked like Lessa. That's the star of the book. And then her dude, Falar. And then, of course, I went ahead and said this was Fënor. That was Falar's brother. And then Breck. It's got some weird eyes on her. No, I said Shara. No, that was Jackson. Oh, anyway. Anyway. I just named them. Yeah, here's Fënor. This is Breck. I put her eyes closed. And there's Fënor. These are just kind of pencil sketches. Now, get this one. Okay, any of you Star Wars fans, here is my Star Wars. Now, this is Luke. I drew him in pencil, and then I went over him. I think it was marker and something else. So, I don't know where I got this stance, the way they're standing. And then there's, you know, his dad's head. But I don't even have a date on this. And I don't on her, but Leia. I really like how Leia's face turned out. Doesn't she look like Carrie Fisher? I don't know if I'm holding her close enough. But I thought she turned out really, really good. And she's got that same stance to her. This must have been a phase I was in. Because I got another lady who's standing sideways. And then this one, I would like to get in there with some white out. Because I overdid her face. I need to get in there and take a bunch of these stipplings and lines and stuff off of her face. Because I think it's just, ugh. It made her look like an old woman. But this was Ariel. These are like goddesses. This is Ariel. That was Diana. And then I had Shara, which is the demoness of fire. Oh my gosh. And then here's Trinket. I think you've seen her before. I even put 1980 on there, so I got the date. Here's my one-eyed people. Sea Breeze. I named her Sea Breeze, so I must have got it off of a bottle of that Sea Breeze antiseptic for your face. That must have been, and she was the first one. Then I had this one that I named Tiara. And then oh, wait a minute. And then we got a guy. I even did a guy. Peter. And then we have Tess. You've seen Tess. I have her as 1982. And I did this lady, Talia. Oh, you can see all of her head. And then I've got Kilishandra. I said 1981 on that one. I like how her hair is. And that thing in her hair. I did this one. That one's called Clark. And then this one, Jordan. Now, Jordan. I think if I ever had a child and I had a son, I think that was the name I wanted to have. and you know how on Twilight she names her daughter Renesmee, which is a combination of the two mothers. I always thought if I ever wanted a daughter, now this is not a combination of anybody's name, I wanted to be Resin Ananda. Resin Ananda. We were young. So anyhow, yeah. She kept looking at me like, why would you want to call your child Resin? I said, it's different. Not everybody has that name. Now this is cranioclavicle. It must have been when I was learning body parts, because cranio is your skull, and then clavicle is on the back of your shoulder blade. Anyway, this one's Chiquita, little Chiquita. And then we have Beatrine, who is a little alien girl. Not that they're not all little alien girls. Oh, and I got this one, which is either lead, follow, or get the you-know-what out of the way. Zip. All right. I hope everyone enjoyed that. I hope everyone has a great day and not in the snow like I am. But I'm going to make it work to my advantage. I'm going out to read. It's nice and quiet. So all of you take care, and I'll be back again soon. I still have one little portfolio to show you, and then I may dig into the big containers and see what's in there that you haven't seen yet. I know some of my paintings and stuff are in there. All right. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.